The managerial merry-go-round continues. Sarri out, Blanc in. Luis Enrique comes into the running, as well as shock candidate Fulham manager Jokanovic. Alisson becomes a target for Chelsea as Courtois looks set to leave, and apparently we're linked with a shot move for Jokanovic. What's going on, guys? And welcome back to 100% Chelsea, and welcome to some more transfer news. Well, kind of. Managerial merry-go-round still going on because, you know, we can't sign any players of that manager. But apparently we're not keeping Conte, so yeah, we're going to move on and see what happens with that. But let's just get straight into it, shall we? All right, let's talk about transfers. Let's talk about the manager merry-go-round. That's what we're here to do for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and you will know exactly when we're doing that. But guys, more importantly, let's get into it. So, as it continues, Jokanovic, the Fulham manager, becomes a shock candidate. As well as that, Luis Enrique apparently has reopened talks with us. Sarri is out after comments. And according to Calcio Mercato and La Gazzetta dello Sport, apparently Laurent Blanc could be the next Chelsea manager. So what does that mean? Well, clearly, no one's come out to back Conte. That is the situation. I think we all know exactly what's going on with that now. To be honest, this has been continuing for months and months and months. And for all of us, it's just getting boring. Obviously, clearly Conte is out, but the managers that we're being linked with are fairly interesting. Now, obviously, we can analyse that now. Sarri is apparently out after making these comments. I've got them up. So, to any female viewers watching, I'm very sorry in advance. But apparently his, let's say, anti-feminist agenda has hindered his chances after he said to Marina, according to Kiss Kiss Napoli, so not exactly the most reliable of sources, so I don't know if it's true, but he said, God only created women to carry semen from the bedroom to the toilet, not to run a football club. Like I said, not exactly a massive fan of that. Obviously, that doesn't help his apparently homophobic agenda after he decided to slander Roberto Mancini. To be honest, you know, I think this was a better call. I don't think Sarri was the right man for Chelsea. Clearly, he brings people are talking about, you know, he doesn't take bullshit from the media. I think there's not taking bullshit and taking it to this level. I think this is slightly ridiculous what we're hearing from him. Apparently, this is what cost him the job, as well as apparently Marina having a poor relationship with De Laurentiis. Obviously, we haven't exactly had the best relationships with Napoli over the past 2 or 3 years. Considering 2 summers ago, when we started doing transfer news, Koulibaly was on the cards for the whole summer, so in the end we got bored reporting it. Last summer happened again. This summer there's been talk to Jorginho and all that kind of stuff, and all these players coming to join Sarri, as well as obviously the Sarri news, and it just got a bit boring. Look, clearly if this is true, you know, I completely understand why Chelsea aren't going to hire him. Obviously, if you've got a female director at the club, you've got female members of staff, you know, this is not exactly what you want to be hearing when it comes to the manager and probably the figurehead when it comes to football at the club. Obviously, women's football at Chelsea is a massive thing, and obviously on this channel it is as well. We like to follow the women's football and get all our stories rolling in terms of that. Obviously, Fran Kirby signed a deal the other day, and we have some amazing female football players. Emma Hay, obviously, winning the managerial award this year as well. She, you know, so to be honest, like I keep saying, if this is true, Sarri is not the right man, and to be honest, I completely see why it hasn't happened. One thing for me, another manager that we've been linked with, is it's relatively interesting. It was on the cards. It has been on the cards for a while, but it was very, very quiet. However, today apparently it has picked up a bit of pace, and that is Jokanovic from Fulham. Obviously, bringing them up through the playoffs this year, has been linked with the Chelsea job. Obviously, he's an ex-Chelsea player as well. He was all right apparently, but you know he's taken Fulham to, I guess, back to where many feel they belong after spending such a long stint in the Premier League previously. They play some very attacking football, and they are very exciting to watch. However, for me as well, he took this team when they were further down in the Championship. Probably, well, I think they were fighting relegation at the point he took over. That's what I've been told by Fulham fans anyway. And he took them up to this, took them on a fantastic run throughout the Championship season, and obviously took them to play a final where they won. And quite interestingly, obviously now he's been linked with a Chelsea job. Now, obviously, there's been talk of a more attacking brand of football. In my opinion, I'm not too bothered. For me, I just want to see Chelsea win and go back. Not kind of try and reclaim a bit of flair, which we lost this season, in terms of that winning campaign and the mentality in the club. Obviously, this season it has been excessively defensive at times. Obviously, there was a run in January where we didn't score a goal for over 3 100 minutes. And at the end of the day, that's not exactly great when you're Chelsea Football Club and you've been dining at the top tables of European football for the previous 10 to 15 years. But yeah, I mean, Jokanovic could be a very, very, very interesting manager to bring in. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments. If it was to happen, how would you feel about it? I'm not completely sure. I want to read a bit more about him, hear a bit more about him, and then I can probably make a fair assumption. You can't really say a manager's terrible if he's come from the Championship and all that kind of stuff. You need to see what you can do with other tools. To be honest, people talk about that, but I know it's a bad example, but look at Brendan Rodgers coming from Swansea to Liverpool. Obviously plays a nice brand of football with them and took them to, well, nearly a Premier League title. Sorry, Stephen. I mean, it's a bad time for you. You don't want to talk about that. But, he did do that. Other managers have been performing at lower levels and come up to take the highest table as well. So would you be interested to see him do that? Or do you think maybe he needs another club in between? Moving on, we've got some other candidates as well as Sarri and as well as Jokanovic. Apparently, Laurent Blanc is in. This is according to Calciomercato and according to Gazzetta dello Sport. So basically, to be honest, these guys are the equivalent of red top tabloids in Italy. I personally don't trust them very much. But according to multiple reports from, well, I say multiple, I mean two in it. According to them, apparently Laurent Blanc is pretty much set to become the Chelsea manager, having positive talks with Marina Granovskaya. Look, if we're not going to hire a guy because he's sexist, don't hire a guy because he's racist as well. Obviously, we've spoken about this previously. Laurent Blanc having a bit of a torrid affair with the French FA after he basically said they only bring in black and Arab players through the youth system. To be honest, don't really want that at my club. He did okay with France. He did all right with PSG from a footballing perspective, but look, you want to have a bit of stability in terms of who can manage the press and do several things for the club. For me, I don't feel that Laurent Blanc is a man to manage the press. You bring him in, everyone's going to be all over us like a rash. Chelsea have signed a racist manager, all that kind of stuff. You can see what Twitter's going to be saying, what everyone is going to be saying, and to be honest, quite rightly so. He's an average manager and doesn't exactly have the nicest of characters, if you ask me, after hearing what he's done, and as well as watching his press interviews. Obviously, he can't exactly manage a dressing room. Everyone heard about Sergio Aurier's comments regarding him and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and he clearly does have his favourites, and right now, we just need a bit of harmony with the squad. You don't want to separate it even more. And right now, we'll just have to see. But, I mean, let me know what you think about Laurent Blanc. And our final candidate, apparently, which is Luis Enrique. So, again, according to other reports, Luis Enrique has re-entered the race and has had positive talks with Marina and the board. So, God knows who to believe. But Luis Enrique, for me, bland, boring. He doesn't have any character to him. I like managers with a bit of character. I know I sound a lot like Brendan Rodgers there, but you want someone who you can see in a press conference saying something and getting everyone up and enjoying it. But everyone talks about his stint at Barcelona. Now, obviously, to be honest, my left testicle could have managed Barcelona at that point. MSN up front, Rakitic, Iniesta. I think Xavi was just coming to the end of his stint as well while Luis Enrique was there. Come on, that is not. He's not exactly had a hard time. However, you look at his managerial prowess elsewhere, i.e. Roma, we'll take that as an example, he was rubbish. He got run out of Barcelona as well because people had had enough of him. And to be honest, that just summarises it for me. I don't want him. Apparently he's asking for a ridiculous fee as well. Don't really want someone who's going to be doing that and trying to hold the club to ransom. He's not a good enough manager. That's Lawrence. He's not a good enough manager, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, it's just not worth it. I personally, out of the four options, would be well, three options now because Sarri is out. I wouldn't mind seeing Jokanovic. It's a different approach. However, I feel that's what we need. We need a refresh. We need to decide what we're doing. If you watch my live stream to Talking Transfers the other day, you would have seen that I was talking about Chelsea not having much of a plan, not having a stage to go forward and outside of short-termism. Look, winning trophies is fantastic, but this is a guy who people are talking about playing attacking football. He plays attacking football. People want to see youth players come through. Ryan Sessegnon being a prime example. He's brought him through the ranks. He has developed talent and taken Fulham back up, i.e. basically saying winning the equivalent of a trophy, I guess, and putting a winning mentality into a side. We have a lot of flair players. It does work. I don't know what system he plays. But again, we'll get a lowdown on this. If there are any Fulham fans watching who would like to talk a little bit about Jokanovic, please hit us up. Let us know what you think about him and what his chances of joining Chelsea are. Obviously, it's a very, very long shot from our front. But, hey, to be honest, I'd like to see something very, very different. And I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. But, why not change it up? We ain't got a lot to lose right now. We're not exactly in the best of places, so why not go for a complete change rather than just attacking football? Go for a development manager. We clearly have not got enough money to invest in major players at a squad, but we've got players that are in Champions League finals at youth level, have won cups at youth level, have taken leagues by storm, performed well, carried teams by the scruff of their neck to promotion, to league titles in Marco van Ginkel's case. Pulling a team back from the scruff of the net to stop from relegation. Loftus-Cheek at Crystal Palace, working well with Wilfred Zaha and Roy Hodgson's side. Well, Roy Hodgson, I know, is a bit of a shock. But, we've got players that are clearly available. If we get someone who could bring through youth, obviously also understands the club and understands the fans, as Jokanovic, we keep saying, was an ex-player, it'd be interesting to see it happen. But obviously, Fulham to Chelsea, there is no... It's a derby. It's a rivalry. But, for us, we don't really care. I don't really think Fulham fans are that bothered either. But, what would you like to see? Let me know down in the comment section below. But let's move straight on to our next story. The next two are we're just going to braze through them. There's nothing really much to talk about. Apparently, Chelsea are considering entering the race for Alisson. Obviously, this was reported a few days ago by Lawrence. Alisson's a good keeper, a very good keeper. He's been superb in the Serie A for Roma this season. And this is all because of Courtois' apparent exit. Now, this was pretty much set in stone as soon as negotiations were breaking down at the beginning of the year. Now, for me, it's a good choice. Look, if Courtois is that desperate to go to Madrid, let's do it. Let's get rid of him. Question is for me, though, is Alisson the right man to replace him? Now, obviously, Alisson being linked with Liverpool as well, they've got Champions League football. They could bring a lot more to the table. But I think all we have is being based in London right now. London is obviously a major player when it comes to that kind of stuff, but is it quite the Champions League? No, not really. Is it going to happen? No. But, if anything, what I prefer to see is a money plus Courtois deal for Jan Oblak. Obviously, Courtois is very keen because of his family to go to Madrid. It's probably got nothing to do with Real, so, maybe we could just do that. If he's desperate for a move to Real, it just summarises what he's on about. But if he's desperate to go see his family, which is completely understandable. I would be the same if I'd been away from my family for a long time. Obviously, as you can see, the setup's a bit different. It's a bit of a mess at the minute. I haven't got my camera with me, and I'm back home with my family, and obviously it's always nice to see him. But if that's the case, then swap deal for Jan Oblak would be superb in my opinion. I'd love to see some of that. But what would you guys like to see? Jan Oblak or Alisson? Let's know down in the comment section below. And our final story, well, do you know what I love? We obviously use News Now and various other news websites to collect our news. And after Chelsea fans on Twitter yesterday, so credit to you guys, including everyone who watched the channel. Lawrence did it as well, I believe. Our group chat was going off during the England-Nigeria game. Chelsea, according to some reports, are set to re-sign Jokanovic. So obviously this is all in jest. This isn't a real transfer story. So if you want to switch off now, fair enough. Just make sure you subscribe before you go. Really appreciate it if you do. Hit that like as well. But Jokanovic, according to reports from Twitter, obviously, because that's what we pushed, people want to see him re-sign for Chelsea now. Obviously, if you've been here for a long time, you remember the days of me, Eunice, Dan and Tony talking about Jokanovic as Lord Mikel, the African Zidane, despite Zidane being from Algerian descent, so it kind of doesn't really work. But, that man, obviously, was a phenomenal man for Chelsea Football Club, a most beautiful human being to have ever graced our football pitch. If in doubt, just probably the biggest legend as well. If you're taking me seriously, you're an idiot. But to be honest, look, we'll just leave it like this, all right? That's how we're going to round off the video. If you would like to see Jokanovic in a Chelsea shirt, hit up my Twitter, hit up 100% Chelsea Twitter, and hit up the comment section with the hashtag, the African Zidane. And we're going to see if we can get that moving. Because you know what? I really want to see news websites pick this up even more, because this would be highly hilarious. So leave your reasons. Should Zidane come back to Chelsea? Why should he do it? Would he be the man to lead us back to a Premier League title and another Champions League? Will he score a bicycle kick to get us there? But guys, let us know down in the comments section below about Jokanovic and all the other stories today. Make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea. All social media links are down in the description: Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, make sure you follow my personal socials. They're down below now. Obviously, have a chat with me on there, as I'm very open. I usually reply to all the messages that I receive. But yeah, listen, your support is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for it. Keep us going. Help us get to our next target. So I'm going to set you guys a target now. By the end of June, I'd like to see 68,000 subscribers on this channel. If you hit that subscribe button and we reach that target, make sure, and we will make sure, that we will do a shirt giveaway for you guys. We will get a Chelsea shirt and give it away to you. But as well as that, guys, let's see how many likes we can get this video. 200 likes will be very much appreciated. But other than that, guys, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow me on my personal socials, follow all our socials as well, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care.